So we're here at the Cabana Sessions, S4X20. I'm here with Robert Malmgren, one of the early attendees at S4. You were there in the early years,
Yes.
and now he has his own conference. He's got the CS3 conference in Stockholm that happens, which week in October? It's 1 week.
Week 43.
Week 43. So for Americans, that's about the third or fourth week in October?
Third.
Yeah, okay. And how many years have you been doing that now?
This year it will be the 7th week, the
Yeah.
7th year, yeah.
And how would you describe your attendees? Do you get mostly European, mostly Northern European?
So when we started out 7 years ago, it was like 90% of the attendees was like from Sweden or Scandinavia and 10% from the rest of the world. Now, the last year, we had, I would say, 50-50 from the Nordic region and 50 from all over the world. So we have people from Asia and Africa.
Asia even,
yeah.
really?
So we have some people from the Japanese cyber police was
Yeah.
attending and things like that. So that's really cool.
That is good.
Yeah.
And similar diversity in terms of the people giving presentations? Are you getting them from all over the world?
Yes, yes. So the Middle East, Europe, US, some from Scandinavia. Yeah.
Well, you must be doing something right, because I was talking to some people from the UK last night at the welcome party, and I said, what's the big ICS security event in the UK? And they said, there really isn't too much. But in Europe, they pointed out your event.
Okay.
So you must be doing something right if you're getting that kind of attention throughout the region.
Yeah.
Did you this year our theme here was create the future. We're trying to drive change, saying we're kind of stuck in the mud and we need to do something different because we're not making progress. So did you have any sort of theme that you had this last year in October?
No, we didn't really have one specific theme. We skipped that this year. But we have had themes before for different years.
And S4 started out as a very technical event.
Yes. I remember back at the Florida International University.
Yeah, when we only had one stage.
Yep.
And a very technical group, and I think the reason it's less technical is because I'm less technical now. So.
But I also think you attract a lot of more people, and there's more interest in this area, and a lot of those that are interested are on different levels.
Yeah, I mean, it's worked out well. We have our tech stage. We still try to, give them all the technical meat they can handle. What are you seeing at your event? Are you technical focused, broader, or range, or what are you looking at?
We are sort of trying to do something similar, and I got this comment from a lot of people that this is a completely impossible equation. I mean, to try to bring together techies and management and things like that. Why don't you have separate tracks, separate conferences and so on? But no, there is a value to have them meet and talk about this thing at the same place and seeing the same things and so on. And as you could go between the different stages and so on. I think it's really important to have things like that. So.
Were there any talks that you wanted that you couldn't get? For 2 years, I've been chasing a PLC endpoint protection talk, and so there's always a couple. There's always two or three on my list, and I'm like, I really want someone to do that.
Yeah, there are some people that we've been chasing for a number of years, and that has avoided. One of the people that you had in your leading introduction yesterday, I've been asking him to come over to Europe for a number of years, but he said he cannot do it because of medical reasons, and it's really, really sad. Everyone is calling themselves thought leaders and using that type of labels. I don't think there is that many thought leaders, but there are a few, and he's definitely one.
Well, you kind of scooped us on the Andy Greenberg one. I swear I was that week that you announced it, I was thinking I should get Andy Greenberg on that stage, and then I said, it was at CS3, so I probably shouldn't do it. And then I read the book.
Yeah.
And I said,
yes, you have to have it. Yeah.
So that was great. So you had him there, and he did a book sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really good.
And he was one of the keynote speakers. And the good thing was that he now you do this. You're doing amazing interviews. one-on-ones like this. And I think that is probably one of the best things that you get from attending S4s, that you're doing interviews and you are getting good questions and good replies, and then you follow up on the questions and even the ones that are people don't want to have, but you manage to get that out of people.
Yeah.
So they got really good perspective of things.
Oh, thank you.
And you had this good conversation with Andy yesterday.
Yeah.
We have him as a presenter, and I haven't heard him really as a presenter before, but he was an amazing presenter.
Yeah.
And he got the award for the best presentation.
Mm-hmm.
So he's really good.
Well, I think it's, I don't want to take too much of your time away from the food, but I think it's really important to have a good show in Europe. We tried over there for like 2 years. I don't do anything in Europe. I live in Maui, so it's almost impossible for me to do a real show in Europe. And there's a lot of things that are different in running a show in Europe. And I think especially being local like that, you have a real advantage in terms of, you know the crew, you know the place and all that. But only thing I question is Stockholm in October.
I know.
Can you make it like Stockholm in June or something when it's really beautiful?
Yep.
But October seems to be the conference time in Europe.
Yep.
I guess a lot of people are off in the summer and such.
Yeah, that's really the thing. I mean, Miami this time of year.
Yeah, usually, not today.
not the rainy iguana day, but
yes,
all other days.
Yeah.
It's perfect selection.
Okay, well that's great.
It's the opposite to the having Stockholm in October, but we're inside. We're in a great venue.
Yeah, so. It does. You do some really cool stuff with the staging, but it looked like you're getting kind of close to the limits on that venue. You're going to be stuck with kind of the thing we've had to go through a couple of times. We actually, next year, we're moving stage 2 to another building that can seat like 600 because it just, we're crammed at the gills, and that's I'll tell you up front, that's a challenge. Anytime you move the place, it's all these problems you don't think of. Yeah, it's like this time we had the security lines. We had 200 more people, and the security lines were super long. So good luck with that when you face it. And
thank you, David.
And one of these years I'll have to make it out there to CS3. It's been on my list.
You have a standing invitation.
Oh, thank you.
We've been wanting you there from the day one.
Okay.
So you have to come.
Okay. Well, thanks, and enjoy the Cabana Sessions.
Okay. Thanks, Ken.
Thanks. Perfect. See, I told you, easy peasy.
Yeah.